Binge eating has a lot of costs to especially our life, to our physique goals, and also our mental. But there is a bigger cost that we don't really talk about, and it's actually food expense. Now, if you go to the fucking store, you already know you're spending a lot of money on processed foods. Like a bag of chips is around $4 to $5. Ice cream is around $7 to $8. Cookies are also around $6 to $7. Especially if you're binge eating, you're eating around like 2,000 calories on top of what you're already eating throughout the day. So the food expenses go up around, you can spend at least $30 to $40 in one single night. And you know the drill. The next day, you just keep binge eating again, and you go back to the fucking store, and you keep buying food. You keep eating it at home, and then you throw out the leftovers, and you tell yourself, this is the last time. I will not repeat the same mistake. And you know what fucking happens the next day? You binge again. You know the fucking drill, and it fucking sucks because the only reason you binge is because you're emotional at the same moment. So for some reason, it feels like we have a demon controlling our brain and telling us to go to the store to buy food, to come back home and start eating without actually understanding the damage that we're doing to our finances. So like one day I remember when I looked up at my bank account and I saw I spent around like $200 on food for 1 week, and it was just processed food, and I was just putting everything on my fucking credit card. I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. Future Anton is gonna pay for it. I'm just gonna enjoy the moment. This is the last time I binge. Trust me, bro. And then what happened is I just became depressed because I had around like $500 in my bank account. I wasted $200, and now I'm at $300. I had rent to pay. I had fucking more expenses that I couldn't cover, and because of that issue, food was a really big expense for me. And it's probably the same thing for you. So the next logical steps is actually, when if you do want to binge and you actually go to binge, just check how much money you're actually spending on food and realize, is this worth it on the future, in the future sense, because you know logically and critically that the next day you're gonna have shame, guilt, you're gonna have disgust. When you look yourself in the mirror, you're gonna hate yourself. You're not gonna like your physique. So why are you doing this? Like generally, why are you spending so much money on food when you could be spending that money on socializing with friends, maybe going out with a girl, maybe go to some events and use that money instead of actually being selfish and buying food for your own reason, because that's the only way you trained your brain to create a habit of solving problems that occur in your life. For example, if you're sad or depressed, you go to food. So you go to the store and you waste money on processed food that damages your body long term, but also you feel like shit after you binge. So it's not fucking worth it, man. So the next time, just logically and critically look at your bank statements, look how much you're spending in food, and realize that this could be a big problem in the future, and you should stop right away. And in terms of binge eating, I know it's very difficult. I've been facing it for myself for around 10 years. So I truly understand your pain. And don't worry about it. It is possible for you to stop. And that's why I'm here. So if you're trying to stop binge eating, that's my mission, to help 1,000 young men stop for good and live a healthy lifestyle. Other than that, subscribe for more.